Hey guys, I'm Unblessed Data from the Lost Bros ClubHouse, bringing you another review, and this time we have the brand new Build-A-Figure, or BAF, if you guys don't know, the lingo, King Thor / Odin. There's interchangeable parts to switch them out, which is kind of cool, but this is brand new from Hasbro, the first Marvel Legends wave of 2015. So, Thor is one of my favorite characters. He holds a special place in my heart. And King Thor is a version of Thor. It's an old version of Thor from one of Marvel's new comics, from their Marvel Now thing, kind of like New 52, what DC did. And he's just a really cool character, so they made him into a figure, which is really cool, and we'll get right into this review and show you what he's all about. So right off the bat, you'll notice that his cape falls off very, very easily. It's just a simple peg, so you can see right here. It's a very, very simple peg, nothing fancy. I wish they kind of put something else to better support it, but, you know, whatever, Hasbro. You do what you do. The detail and head sculpt is really nice on this figure. They captured King Thor's likeness very, very well. And you can see his eye patch is there. His destroyer arm looks really, really nice. Hasbro likes to use this swirly paint. Now, they like to use a swirly plastic here, and it looks really, really nice on this figure. I think it works really well for the armor, shoulder pads, the destroyer arm. Looks really, really nice. And sometimes it looks cheesy in figures, but for this figure in particular, it looks really, really good. Another thing to point out is that his shoulder pads here, they move up and down. Very similar to the SH Figure Arts Goku, like the whole Dragon Ball Z line that they have. Very similar. And although it works with those figures, this is kind of weird because when you put them fully down, the shoulder pads, you can clearly see the top of his arm. So his skin is there, which is really weird, which it wouldn't be in you know, a regular suit of armor. And they do come off. There's just pegs there. So it's kind of annoying when they fall off like that. But it works all in the end. I mean, if you put them up, it looks really, really nice. But sadly, when you put them up like this and put the cape on the back, it doesn't work. It pushes them right down. So that's kind of a downside to this figure. But overall, the detail is really, really nice. So his little kilt thing that he's wearing, it hides his legs, but you can still see all the detail in his legs. Again, they use the swirly plastic for the legs, which again, I think is a good choice for all the armor on this figure. Very, like, pointy legs, I have to say. It's the only way I can really describe it. Kind of reminds me of the Lord of the Rings in a certain way. But overall, the detail on this figure is really, really good. And on the back, you can see all the detail. I think, especially like the destroyer arm, I think they really nailed that. As you can see, all the rivets and everything. Lots of detail on this figure. It's really, really nice sculpt. Thumbs up to Hasbro. Alright, so for articulation, King Thor's head is very hindered. It really can't move at all, just very slightly, not really up at all, not really down at all, to the left and right, really, really slightly. He has an ab crunch, which can move up and down. It doesn't move down all that far at all, but it does move back a nice bit, so you can put him in some good poses. He has a ball-jointed shoulder there, so that's always nice. Swivel at the upper bicep, single jointed elbows. This one, the destroyer arm, is really, really like stiff, and I don't even know if stiff's the right word because it does not go past this point. So it's a bit hindered, although it's pretty much the same size as this one, but this arm does go a bit further, so that's a bit weird, but it still kind of works out. He has a single joint on his wrist, and it also swivels like that. He has his torso can also swivel in that fashion. His kilt does hinder his leg articulation, which is a shame. I mean, if this was cloth, it would work way better, but again, it brings up the price, so you don't want to put it too high, but it still looks really nice in plastic also. But his legs are on a single ball joint, double jointed knees, which is always nice, ankle pivot on the bottom of his foot, and a joint. So lots of articulation for this guy. Can't really ask for more. So taking a really close look at the head sculpt, just to give you a really nice idea of what this figure is. I think everything's really good. I mean, even in past Hasbro Marvel Legends, especially in the later waves of 2014, the paint was really splotchy. But here, this time around, it's actually much better, way better improvement by Hasbro here. You can see that it's a little patchy right there, but it's all good. It's not that noticeable, and if you really wanted to fix it, you could. So for accessories, King Thor comes with two different capes, one blue, one red, which is a nice touch. So for Odin, you can use blue. For King Thor, you can use red, which is actually really cool. But they're the exact same thing, so they still won't stand on, which is great. He comes with Odin's spear, which is pretty nicely made. It's really tall, actually. It's taller than the actual figure, which is actually really cool. I didn't think they would actually put that. Comes with Odin's arms, and I'll show you how to put the arms out in a second. And comes with Odin's head, obviously. So I'll show you how to switch out the parts right now. The arms pop off relatively easy. I mean, you can just pop them off like that. I don't even know if you're supposed to pop them off, but... And that just pops right in. So there it is. You can take off his head. Pops right off. Put the Odin head in. And then you got Odin. So then you can hold it. And the blue cape. And now you got Odin. So that's pretty cool that you can have both figures in one. Again, if you really want to build both, though, you're going to have to get 2 waves, which is really annoying because then you're going to have 2 of each figure. But other than that, I think Odin, it looks really cool. I think Odin might look even cooler than King Thor, which is kind of weird because I like King Thor better than Odin, but, you know. So here's a close-up of the Odin head sculpt. Really nice, actually. The horns is a really nice touch. Sometimes he's depicted with really big horns, but I think this works really well for what Hasbro was trying to do. And it's similar to the King Thor head sculpt, as you can see, because they both have eye patches, although on different eyes. But really cool. I kind of wish that this King Thor would actually come with his helmet also, because in the comics he's mostly wearing the helmet. So that's kind of a bummer for me, but... yeah, overall, it's a really cool head sculpt. If you want to see the back there, it's really nice. I actually really like this Odin figure. I think the Odin actually looks better than Thor. So closing thoughts. Overall, I think this BAF is actually pretty decent. I mean, Thor's my favorite, so I might have a little bit of a prejudice there, but overall, it's a really good Build-A-Figure, and like I said, you're basically getting 2 in 1, so that's good. But again, if you want to build both, you're gonna have to buy 2 waves, unless you just want to switch them out when you need them. Yeah, overall, it's a great figure, and that Thor's pretty cool, too.